stream. Hello. Hello. I have not sorted out the mic yet. Nikki sent me a video which looks very interesting, but I just haven't had the brain space. So we're back with Danganronpa 2. We're in chapter 4. We're about to start the trial.
Danganronpa.
And find out... Well, I mean, I'm fairly convinced at this point that he killed himself. So what happens in that case? I don't know. But yeah, we're just picking up where we were. If anyone has questions... I think I've got all my skills assigned that I can. I have 6, but the one I want... Oh no, I can get the one I want. Excellent. I wanted the sword one. Experience. So sharpness increases by 5 because I'm having... Right, when everyone had their backs to the wall, Nekomaru was killed! Barrier to the final dead room has been broken, and the ultimate weapon rises from its deep sleep. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of things going on in this chapter. An intense survival game awaited at the funhouse. Right when everyone had their backs to the wall. Okay, yeah, so we are ready. Rise.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go!
Yeah. So chapter 4 was different in that the motivation was basically you're not going to get any food or water until one of you kills someone. Or one of you dies. I don't know, one of you kills... It wasn't quite clear, but anyway. A death would be what gets people food, and it did. But it feels like Nekomaru sacrificed himself because he was a robot.
Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
But there's a whole thing with, there was a secret to the fun house and a secret just to the whole thing. And Nagito got some files and he found out the secret. And he knows stuff, but he's not telling anyone yet. Of course it had to be him.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is. I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
And there was a thing with the clocks, where somehow the clocks were set back like 2 hours, but Nekomaru's clock was still accurate. No one turned up. He said no one turned up to the exercise class, but that's because the clocks were wrong. And also they're starving and hallucinating, so...
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident?
But this time, I honestly think it's like... it was a reflection of the first game. Like was mentioned last stream, in that... Sakura... killed herself. Also, I found out that the anime is on Crunchyroll. And there's a code for Crunchyroll, no ads, for like 3 months in Game Pass at the moment. Nekomaru is dead. Nekomaru Nidai was the robot guy. But we think he killed himself, sacrificed himself for everybody else. So I'm gonna watch the anime after I finish this game because apparently it actually tells you what's going on. I wish it told you what was going on in the actual games, but hey. And then I can, I guess, summarize. But I need to do that apparently before I play 3. I don't know. I need to find a spoiler-free what order to do things in guide for this game, these games, the series, because yeah. But there's some Danganronpa anime which needs watching as well. And possibly another game which I don't have access to, which is on like the Switch or something. And I refuse to purchase an entire console just for one game. So maybe I can find a summary of that. Anyway, the point is, I don't think there's a murderer this time. But how are you doing, Dan and Milo?
We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning?
Yes, because you didn't give him a bed in the other house.
Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
You're having a day off and playing for fun. Awesome. I am trying to complete some games because I was in the mood to complete some games. I've nearly completed 2 games. Sherlock Holmes' Devil's Daughter Redux and Twin Mirror, which I realised the main character is autistic and had a bit of a contemplative moment at 2 in the morning. Because the game is basically penalises you for being authentic. And I'm like, this is my life. I don't know how to feel about this.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
Oh, bless you, Akane. Please keep being this naive.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House. They went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
So what are you playing, Dan?
The
For
body
fun.
discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
There's a reason for that. So currently, I'm number 1 in the world for point and click on started games, gamer score, and now true achievement score. So if I complete 15 of the games that I've started that are point and clicks, I'm number 1 for completed games, and then we'll also get number 1 in all the other ones, which is TAD and achievements 1. So I'm sort of working my way on the leaderboards. I mean, I've been number 1 in the UK for a while now, but number 1 in the world makes me happy. So I was like, right, what realistically can I do? Because there's 3 on the 360 that I could complete, and I've plugged in my 360. It's so slow, and it involves like an entire playthrough of a really long game that had glitched on me once and that sort of thing. I'm glad you did your crisis session. You're doing Relicta for fun. You're doing Relicta for fun? I question your sanity. Yeah, I mean, it's only 15 point and clicks. I do maybe want to get an achievement. 2 more, like, I need 3 more genres. Has a nice high ratios, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It felt glitchy and hard, so that made it not fun. But I was enjoying the story. That was the problem. So, yeah. But, yeah, so, you know, it's just more that I tend to, you know, I've completed the story in a lot of the point and clicks, just not necessarily done the mop up, and some of them, you know, just get left because I streamed them and forgot to continue. And I've got a lot of other games on and a lot of streams and etc, etc, etc. The moon? Yeah, that was... That was the one that Jesse and I did after. Where you were the only person left on the moon and the Earth exploded and there was a whole solve the puzzles rewind mechanic. Name escapes me. 1 second. Jeez, it was a while ago. Wait, no. Oh, Entropy Center! That was it. The key was entropy. That was the word I was missing. If I'd have figured out entropy, I'd have been fine. Got it. But yeah, that was the moon one. There's also Deliver Us the Moon and stuff like that. And... oh, God. There's one of the houses in the courtyard behind. Hi, Tarragon. Oh, bless him. Sorry, one of my neighbours out at the back has been so disruptively noisy for the last, like, 3 days. And yeah, it's so frustrating. please let Milo in so we can drag a bowl around for an hour or something. But yes, hi Tarragon.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
He has a thing. It's
Thinking we
cute.
should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes.
It was one from Strawberry House.
One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
You're the coolest one here!
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
Unless you say the pillar. You can tell what the weapon is just by looking. It wouldn't be that much of a mystery if that were true. Yeah, I know. Nagito is like obviously figured it out already. The only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably he thinks the hammer, but it's the pillar. Because the hammer didn't have any blood on it.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No,
Yes.
the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
Huh? Hammer's the weapon, but there's no blood on
I guess
it!
we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer!
Huh?
The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
No, that's wrong.
Can't, because it didn't have any blood on it.
No, I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body, just like human blood, right?
Aniki.
If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
The hammer was possibly used to knock down a pillar. So there's also the chain. I don't know why there was a hammer.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangsta? Me?
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys.
Kazuichi, I believe you. Thousands wouldn't.
I thought maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon.
How's
or
everyone's
something.
weekends going? Mine seems to have disappeared again. So I feel like I've vaguely accomplished things. It's just, why aren't weekends longer?
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
The real weapon was love. Self-sacrifice.
I see.
Look at his little hair with a little wibbly little hair
Broken
thing.
pillar.
Wibbly.
Then that pillar is the weapon! Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar!
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
We know, we tried picking it up.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty frickin' heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Nekomaru.
Coach Nekomaru's robot body! With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
That's my current theory.
Don't be stupid! He ain't the type to commit suicide!
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
I think he pulled the pillar over, actually. It was just more to the point that he could have lifted it. But by the looks of the chains and stuff, someone else could have pushed it, possibly. The setup is very much, he sacrificed himself because everyone was starving to death. And it's parallel to chapter 4 in the first game, if you remember.
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
It does bother me a little. No, but he didn't have his charging cable with him. That word. Suicide. Yes, the fourth murder of the Killing School life was apparently ruled a suicide. I mean, there's literally a statue of Sakura in the lobby of the building. Huh? 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 Oh, it shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit suicide. He wouldn't see it as suicide, though. It would be self-sacrifice, which is different. Oh. Sorry. You weren't really spamming symbols. Nightbot is overzealous, but I had to turn it on because we did get someone who drew an entire body part with symbols, and I didn't want that to happen again because it was quite disturbing and distressing. So I turned that on, and then we don't get that happening, but it does mean that if you put one too many exclamation marks or question marks, it yells at you. Sorry. You are not a spammer. I just want to clarify why that's on. I turn it off, except that I just want to prevent other people from posting stuff like that in the future type thing. If I could make it so that VIPs and mods weren't caught out by it, I would, but it's a blanket setting. Obviously, I trust my regulars. It's just the random folks that come in and decide to spam stuff.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Aha, someone's gonna provide the push me pull me.
For reals?
Yes,
To me,
for
to you.
reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all.
I mean, I agree, so what's the problem here?
Sonia, here I go!
Your argument, okay? Oh dear God. Okay, right. I don't know what they want here
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over. Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
She's very scary when she does that. Is it that? No, I think he tipped
There's
it over
no need
himself.
to lift that pillar.
If the pillar
don't
was
know.
not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over. Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
Okay, so truth bullets. So, body and left leg were tied with a metal wire. The tip of that wire was also tied into a loop. I made the assumption that this was because he used it to, you know, basically hoik it over onto himself. Fatal head wound. It was so heavy that two people couldn't budge it. Full of fragments underneath the body. There were no fragments on top. That's relevant.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
Yeah.
If the pillar was not
There's
lifted,
also a broken doorknob.
beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over. Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
There's also the good night button. The broken doorknob with the scratches. Oh, I start actually reading that static. There's an achievement for getting lots of lines of it. 500, and I can stop shooting them after I get it. Because I didn't have that one for the last game, and I spent about 2 hours grinding it, so I'm doing it as I go along this time. Trying to be slightly more efficient. So okay, the doorknob isn't important. There's also the good night button. Whether or not it was pressed is unclear. It's the fact that the fragments are underneath, and I'm just
There's
not
no
quite
need
sure.
to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, Beating him with it is beyond a dream.
Don't interfere,
What about
Hammies.
tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Then you're the killer.
Considering the pillar's weight.
No, it's not that. Okay,
Damn it.
right. Oops.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
That was the other one.
If the pillar was not lifted,
The pillar
beating
is
him with
heavy.
it is beyond a dream.
So
What about
shouldn't.
tipping the pillar over?
No,
There
that's
we go.
wrong.
That's what I tried to get last time.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
This is where it gets a bit iffy. Because it looks like a suicide, but maybe it's not. I don't know. It's really quite tricky.
Huh?
Because there's
Fragments?
plenty of evidence to support it, and plenty of evidence, and some evidence to disprove it.
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too. But it's probably not what happened.
Yeah. So something to do with the door handle. The fact that he had been into that room, so maybe figured out the secret. Because when he went over to Strawberry House, I'm thinking he's the one that destroyed the button and chained the door and hampered with the lift. Because him and Nagito are the only ones that really know that secret, unless someone else went through that.
I see. That was
No,
entirely
it was a really good
my
idea,
bad.
Sonia.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
There's enough questions that it's not straightforward.
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we?
Huh?
There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what
We're gonna have to
way
do a
is that?
hangman when I don't know what the answer is.
You guys, the same as usual.
He's surrounded by so many dead people. And technically he hasn't killed anyone yet.
You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
I mean, he's a sociopath. Or a psychopath. One of the two. But he's clever. And I really like him if he weren't, you know, if he hadn't, like, started the whole thing off by setting up them first murder. And then offering to help other people kill. And he's been really mean to me.
What did you
Maybe
say?
I'm the ultimate weapon. And you just won't tell me.
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Hey, Nagito. What the hell happened to you?
But he's been mad at everybody.
How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I think he's found out that everyone's a reserve or something.
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
And why do I, Hajime, not remember if I basically paid my way into the school? But why wouldn't I remember my talent if I had one? So it's really odd.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
The chain with
Of
hook?
course, the ultimate weapon.
Oh.
Ultimate weapon?
the layout of the house?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
Yeah, I'm about to, huh? Again, dude.
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon.
Oh, good time. You're not the ultimate. You're the ultimate breeder.
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called.
Are you
the
saying you
ultimate
killed
weapon.
Nekomaru?
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
That's a nice way of disarming him. Oh, he's
I see.
a terrorist.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Because you weirdly claimed Sonya as your crush, and you're creeping on her.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
It's gotta be like the layout of the house somehow. The 2 houses. And if Nekomaru knew that, because there was a door down and you shouldn't be able to go down. Maybe it's like Portal, where, you know, he got the pillar, he pulled down the pillar and got it to fall on him somehow. I don't know.
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Funhouse. Dun, 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 dun. BBC program when I was a kid. But I can't remember the words.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you?
I'm freaked out that you can kill people.
Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower.
Except there's something else, because the tower doesn't move and the lift goes sideways. So I reckon they're actually on top of each other somehow. And oh, maybe they're on top of each other, and that's how you get a trapdoor. So like Strawberry House is actually on top of Grape House. No, it turns a corner, it doesn't go up. Don't know, we'll find out in a minute.
But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower.
Because the tower either rotates or moves up and down somehow. And that's why only one good door can be open at a time.
Sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Not quite.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Full
simp.
show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
I thought that too, but we have proof that contradicts it. Make my argument. Ah, balls. Right, okay. Broken doorknob? Strange feeling?
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower...
Nagito's sudden appearance, definitely. Strange feeling. That's the answer. Strange feeling.
are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
That's
And the designs
lighting.
on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
Oh, Kazuichi, shut up. Thinking it's out to the same building, but it's the only mystery.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
No.
Damn it!
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
No, that's wrong.
I mean, they are and they aren't.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building again.
Bow down. Then how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
Well, we were moving from Grape, but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
Brioche.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly wielding the pillar. He could have moved it all, easy as pie.
I missed a thing.
Damn it!
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Oops. I ran out of cuts.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
Crap!
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
No.
Crap!
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is
Oil on the
surprisingly strong. Wielding the pillar, the body, everything at the
There we go.
Allow me
I
to
was
cut
like,
through those words.
those three things did not move also.
Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Huh?
The I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, yeah. Anyway, the answer was oil, obviously.
When the position of Nekomaru's body in the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
What's everyone doing anyway?
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I
Aside
got
from
so
Dan
fired
playing
up.
Relicted for fun, anyone else playing anything good?
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Good bunny. Roast beef and Yorkshire puddings. That sounds amazing. And Sokobori for points. I mean, Sokobunny sounds cute.
Yeah, the e-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
Nice. I've been completing games as well.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
No idea, huh?
Mystery ties into the secret of the funhouse. Don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. One thing we can rely on is the one person who has these clues.
Hey,
Nagito.
I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
You started 11, played 22, and not finished a single one. No!
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
You talking about the traitor? So why did Nagito say that all of a sudden? Something happened to him?
But how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
Well, he's the only one alive that completed the dead room.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
That light throw.
I see.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
Psychopath. Yeah, I always get the two of them mixed up, you see. Sociopath is non-athletic with impulse control. Psychopath is planning and playing with people. Yeah, psychopath. I've dated a psychopath. Who was possibly also a sociopath. But I'm not a psychologist. But yes, Nagito is a psychopath. So yeah. I mean, I only set as allowed the games in my collection that I want to play in RTTL. Because some of them it's like, no, I'm done with this, or this is too long for a competition thing and I want to sit down and play it properly. Or I no longer have access to this game, or it's discontinued. But there's a clever trick with ones you add as owned. If you set them to ordered, technically it's not owned yet, but it's still in your game collection. So I do that with the ones that I want to register that I own, but I don't want to start them yet.
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room.
Yeah, because there was the
a
window,
hidden room
the
surrounded by
trapdoor,
concrete.
and the folder of stuff.
And there, A small, conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
I mean, only curate for my fun. Prefer to have a list that I could possibly do all of it. I mean, yeah, but sometimes Targa and I want it to pick the games that I haven't started, but I need to promo. So I want it to tell me what I'm streaming this month. And it's quite good for that.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to
There are
show
some
you.
games that I just wish I'd never started. But there's a lot of games that I want to start, but I'd like it to dictate to me which I'm starting.
At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Yep.
Okay, Nikito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket. Ooh! It's legally binding now! Dan has to do 25 and then do a phrase. Because I've done it 3 times.
See? This is it.
So it's Dan's turn. As he said that, he showed us a peculiar picture. I want to see this.
Let me explain it to you again.
You get an unlock phrase for 25, and when you do it 3 times, you get an ending phrase. I believe them's the rules, Targan. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I have 2 unlock phrases and 1 ending phrase out there. Because I did it 3 months in a row. Them's the rules. Yeah, I mean, you know, I wanted to do the 25, and I did the 25 three months in a row, and now I try to get at least 10. You thought MDP had? I'm fairly certain MDP keeps completing it month after month. Yeah. Why am I only second best? Was I the first one to do it? I guess that's the question. So, this is interesting because we're in a forest, and where is the forest on the islands? And this is obviously the outside of those crazy towers. But what it tells me is that one's on top of the other. I mean, just that just makes me equally best, right? But yeah, I thought MDP had done multiple completion stuffs. But maybe not. Oh, maybe not 3 in a row. Well, I mean, Turrican has access to the database thing, so... Maybe I'm the only one that's done 3 in a row. But I'm seeing an ending for it. I don't know. I really don't know. Now I'm convinced that, but I'm not convinced. It's one of those things. Anyway, I'm sure Turrican is going to go look it up and find out. Possibly. You don't have to. So where is this forest is the first question. Second sort of posit is that I was correct with they're on top of each other, which is why there is a trapdoor to go down, and that's how he appeared in Grape House. Because he came through, like, the ceiling of the Monokuma room. But also, is this not actually an island anyway, and they're actually in a forest? Or is all a simulation still?
I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room. But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Yeah, where's the other house? Ah. Well, you said I won things, so of course I wanted to redeem them, because it's fun. Other people who knock out the list most months but don't claim anything. Okay. Fair enough. So there are other people that are qualified, but they just don't do the thing. I was just quite pleased with myself that I set myself to do it, because I wanted to take RTTL seriously. What do you have to do to win a hoodie? I don't know if there's even a hoodie. Maybe you have to do the whole... If you do like the whole year, get 12 months in a row, 25, I'll buy you a hoodie.
Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
Okay, you're really creepy. Thinking time. Well, it doesn't make sense. There's no tower there.
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle. Which means, if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it.
That's probably why I think maybe... I don't know, maybe they used the whole momentum of the tower, pulled the thing, and the fact that the tower room moves killed them. I don't know.
But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
I see. And is
Okay,
that
you
it?
just said about the click command. Like 5 minutes ago. I swear you're set up to go every hour. Sorry, let me just check my timers. Yeah, every 55 minutes. If you want to tell them something, tell them about the shots. I didn't hear anything on it. Yeah, because I've been doing my things, and I'm trying to put cool clips up on because they're only like, well, the last one was like 5 seconds, and I'd appreciate if people watch them and like them if they like them, but at least watch them on whichever social platforms you have, because then more people will see them. They've not been doing too badly. They certainly seem to get more reach than my tweets do. But, you know, being as Twitter/X is dead, you know, unsurprising. There's a lot of things that don't make sense in this photo. There are other contradictions. Yes. The forest.
Here!
The fact that you're on the first floor.
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right?
I need to make some more tea in a bit.
If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angle suggests it was taken
Unless
from
they're
higher
very
up.
short trees.
That's right. Good call. In summary, This is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
It's certainly cursed. They're 3 feet tall and very close to the camera. Yeah, it's that. That effect that you can put on like Instagram photos to make things look like they're a miniature. It's like changing the field of view or something.
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me.
Tilt shift.
If you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student. Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
Ah. Talking about that one time. How did you even get here? Maybe I teleported.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already?
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the 3rd floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
Put your fingers down at the pink. Trapdoor, trapdoor! And now I'm getting flashbacks to yet another 80s cartoon. Ah, we're doing this again, are we? Okay. I forgot what the jump button is. There we are. Nope, I need to go fast. Down, jump. Doing great. There we go. Question 1. They exist. They're the same building. I like tilt shift as a photo concept. Horizon is across vertically.
It's all coming together! Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There was only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building? If
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located. I see!
Wibble, 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 wibble,
On
wibble.
top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the fourth floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap! I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
But the walls are crappy.
Strawberry House is four-sided, and Grape House is six-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it? Disregarding the tower, we fully believed the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd! Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then, it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House.
It's just one floor that moves up and down,
Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
complete with doors.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
Aw, you're
And there's the
precious,
still
man,
thing
you
with
don't
the
know.
180
But
degree.
it's so simple. Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
Oh, definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me.
Oh dear God! Now what are we talking about?
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one
Yeah,
of
I
the
know, right?
towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You are magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
How many of Nekomaru's body existed? Does that mean I could have prepared it in advance? Is something like that even possible?
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash!
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body.
Inside a great tower.
It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You are magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
No, that's wrong!
It's just silly.
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Huh? Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said,
The parts that you carefully arrange when you disassemble the body all move too.
right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
You're disappointed he's not the killer.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it's slanty thing?
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
The floor moved to a different floor.
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
I feel like I've seen that before. An elevator, a lift. What do you want me to spell out here? Elevator, maybe. Okay. A device like a stretcher, yes. God. Damn it. Ah, my R disappeared. Lost my health there.
I got it!
Big magnet, very small rocks.
You must be talking about an elevator.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself.
A duck!
The inside of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
That's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower? And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower?
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Well, trickery.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right? But when we entered Strawberry Tower, those chains were gone.
Not just that, but if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken off.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
The floor could be an elevator without the doors being an elevator. And maybe Nekomaru figured that out and that's how he managed to get himself killed.
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
It's on the floor. The body pillar not well. That's why the doors were different. One was chained and one wasn't.
Is it safe
Because they
to
were
say
both
that
on that
all the
side and it
items on the
didn't
floor didn't change?
Quizzle.
And?
Huh?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer.
It was only the floor moves.
The reason is because that elevator has something unique about it.
I see!
So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was. That's why we saw different doors in each tower.
And how the lights were easily changeable.
Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design.
That's why the door handle had disappeared, because the chain was wrapped around that.
And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
So will we wait? I don't know.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
To make you think the tower was different from what it was.
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified. It was actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
Yes.
Did you hear that, mon ami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Please don't. Oh god. Oh god. What the fuck?
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right? The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse. The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
To be fair, I've said that it had to be someone because of where the things were sabotaged. Someone sabotaged the button and then the lift on the grape side. But honestly, if they knew where the trapdoor was, then they could just get back that way. So the killer is someone who's been to the dead room before Nagito.
It would have been a major inconvenience.
But I
After
still
all,
think it
this
vaguely
funhouse
looks
is
like a
strongly
suicide.
connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
Oh yeah, the lift between the two. Obviously it goes up and down, and it's really slow, so you don't perceive that, but it also twists, because otherwise it would be facing the wrong way.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
I hadn't, I literally just said it.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator. Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower.
Oh, it means the lift turns round.
Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
I agree. What does this mean? No, I know what it means. Because we have Kazuichi's account. If the two houses are connected vertically, the position of the tower should be seen in those houses. In fact, when my back was facing the elevator in Grape House, the tower's on my right. And back was facing the elevator in Strawberry House, the tower's on my left. Oh, no, wait. Maybe the elevator goes in between somehow? Up and across? Or round! It could corkscrew. Corkscrew makes more sense. It's like Charlie's Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, that great glass elevator. So we need Kazuichi's account.
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, The towers are in opposite directions.
Which means your reasoning...
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
Matching arguments. Sounds like it makes sense, but is that really correct?
If the two houses are connected vertically...
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
No, that's wrong! The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Huh? Me?
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees. It was
Cool, great.
probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side. Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House
Huh? Huh? Huh?
appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
That means a half circle rotation. And if you do it slowly enough, you can't tell which direction you're moving.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
Yes, book.
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all. You're inhuman.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with. I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff.
Okay. And that's my cue to take a short break. Because I've run out of tea and I really need a drink. So we'll take a few minute break, take the time to stretch, hydrate, grab a snack, etc. Self-care is important, and I will catch you in a few minutes. I'm back. I think I figured out how it works.
What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now. As long as you know what an Octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
I mean, it's 8-sided.
I see! If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable.
Huh?
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
Crap! Crap! Here! You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
Why is that place the Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final Dead Room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Because we didn't see it go round the outside. Round the outside.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the Funhouse. Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru.
Not exactly a pure Octagon, no, indeed. Was that a song reference from me? Hi, Jesse. Was what a song reference? Not intentionally.
Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the Funhouse from the scenery.
I said round the outside. We couldn't see round the outside.
And then thought of a way to kill, making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
I have no idea what that is, Tarragon, so, as I said, unintentional.
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly,
I like
using
pop.
the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime.
Okay, dude, you're making me dizzy. At least the ultimate weapon's not a
To be
person.
called the ultimate weapon.
The funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon. What does that mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? Well, it has to do with a broken off door handle and a wire with a loop on its end. But there are still some unanswered questions, so I'm not going to speculate. And who is the killer that did that? We don't know if there is one. And I really want to re-watch It's Suspended. You're heading to your parents. Okay, fair enough. Have a good roasty Yorkshire pudding. Please share a picture in the Discord in the food channel because all love a good roasty. Why, hello there. I thought of a new bad word to call one of me. Can you tell I'd be pleased by this? Have fun. Then let me say it right away. I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Words are dangerous. I don't even know. No, I'm not saying that because it seems very insulting. That is more straightforward than I expected. Ah, that's not it. That's not it. Oh. Yeah, as I said. Don't want to say that. Perfect jet stream attack incorporating all three of those would be... Ha! Wait.
Okay, everyone, all together now. Mon ami is a serious student.
I'm just gonna skip that, because that's mean. Yes, I would like... Why is it always there's a save point right after I've said, oh, well, we've got to a convenient stopping point? I'll go to the bathroom. I should always remember that there is a convenient stopping point.
Hello. I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. Ugh, my heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! Ah, but be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
I do. But I do save less frequently because you can't really screw up.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the
I'm
ultimate
just sad I
weapon.
didn't get to talk to Jackie at all this chapter.
Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is...
The friends we made along the way!
the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekumaru's murderer?
Still not convinced there is one.
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
Yes, and we don't trust Nagito.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
You're the weapon, are you, Jesse?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
There's no proof otherwise. I mean, you know, that smile is definitely a weapon.
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
If the roof or the floor moved, wouldn't that topple the pillar? I mean, they're fairly sturdy pillars. They're fairly sturdy pillars that are probably weighted so they don't accidentally fall over. I imagine the floor moves quite slowly. But if you were to, for example, loop a chain around yourself and loop a chain around the pillar and loop it to the door and somehow then make the floor move up, oh, the pillars aren't attached to anything, they're freestanding.
You say such falsehoods, per usual.
I think I've made Jessie at a loss for words. Haha, I would.
There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope.
I mean, they will
Murder
show us
is
exactly how it's done
simply
before the end of the
murder.
stream. There's still a few things like the fragments of the pillar being under the body and the end of the pillar being slightly further away from where the thing was smushed. And the clocks. So it could be there's still a killer. But I don't know.
Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
Yes, but sacrificing yourself to save the others is such a Mechamaru thing to do.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can.
He literally sacrificed himself to save Akane. That's why he ended up in the robot body in the first place. But he knew he couldn't die. He could run out of energy, but he wouldn't die. So he... My current theory is he killed himself to save the others, which is going to make it a weird trial.
Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
You didn't eat for like 3 days and then you had like a bun and a bottle of milk.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway,
He's seriously screwed
if the
up.
killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
I feel like maybe the night-night button was involved. Somehow. Because you can't get the floor to move otherwise. It feels like it's a two-person thing. In which case there is a murderer, but maybe Nekomaru asked someone to help him, but he wouldn't do that if Because he would have known that person would die unless he was doing it. Oh god, Akane, you didn't do something stupid, did you? No. She was devastated. Or a really good actress. Okay, stop speculating, carry on.
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Cause of death. Probably damaged if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. If he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So... I mean, crushed by the elevator, beaten with a blunt object, falling.
Crap!
Oops.
I see!
Falling. My health is getting dangerously low.
I think he might have died from falling.
But I'm also trying to get the achievement that is the don't use the concentration skill. I haven't accidentally used it this time. Seems to be slightly easier for me to focus on stuff.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected.
Okay.
Then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
It's a 3-story drop.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
Maybe they tied him to the pillar. And tied that to the door handle or something.
That I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method.
So you're gonna speculate?
Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
Top of the tower? Top of the column.
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly
It definitely
incorrect.
happened in Grape.
You should burn in the
No, in
flames of
Strawberry.
hell.
Which one's on the top? Grape to strawberry, grape to strawberry. No, we were in Grape when we found him, and the door was chained up. Strawberry at the top had the broken door handle. I was thinking it was the other way around. Okay.
But my gut is going
I may have to
crazy
rethink
right
my
now.
thing. Nekomaru died from falling. Where did the killer ship Nekomaru from? When I reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. Make my argument. I need some more health. Definitely something with the broken doorknob.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open.
Or maybe it wasn't a
Which
source.
means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on the
Done.
1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mekamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open.
I need to get rid of the pink.
Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mekamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open.
Which means the elevator...
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on the... You can't go through the door on the... It'd be impossible to...
Then,
How about after locking they moved the elevator...
and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Really awkward to get. Because I'm trying not to do the slowdown.
That
I
sensor
wanna get
should
that
only
achievement
work if
as well.
something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside,
Then I don't
the
have to
elevator
repeat
sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
endless class trials to get him.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die
was
from. Yes.
Tied to the door.
That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Yeah.
Pest?
Now you're calling me a pest?
You are a pest! Way to create the drop inside the elevator and Nekomaru is still in it. Shaki seems to have an idea, but what could that be? Are you gonna hangman now? Nope. Making an argument, okay. Wire. Chain, broken doorknob. Wire, broken
If you
doorknob.
arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
Yes.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't be so cold. What if I start to enjoy it?
I have awoken! The friendliness meter is going down fast.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
Crap!
Oh, okay. That wasn't
if
the
you arrange
doorknob?
it a
Okay,
certain way,
then
you
maybe
can
it was
cause
the pillar.
drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
Oh, I did it!
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence! Don't be...
What if I start to enjoy
Enjoy it!
If you arrange it, you can cause the drop.
So you're telling us to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement, the hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
How does the pillar come out? Okay. I'm proud of leaving you speechless. Yes. No, I mean, not really. You generally don't always respond to stuff I say, but it was quite funny that what I said made you speechless.
Crap!
I don't know. I'm in a weird mood.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
No, it's not the pillar.
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
Seriously, it's
How
the
about we
pillar.
all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't be so cold. What if I start to enjoy it?
How do we answer this one? That's really the question at the moment.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause
Maybe
the
something
drop
with the
within the
doorknob. Maybe it's the
elevator.
wire in the doorknob. Which is
So
what I
you're
was
telling us all
speculating about before.
to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
Don't answer doorknob with doorknob.
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
There we
I
go.
agree with that.
Doorknob and wire, which is what I think I speculated.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
Maybe he bashed into the pillar and that's
The
why it
killer
went
tied
over.
up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in
Also, it
sleep
wasn't a
mode.
suicide.
Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the
Because
doorknob
they called
to the
the
fourth
elevator.
floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
We saw him on his own.
That's right.
And it wasn't
He
the
was
bullet.
so well hung. Kinda like.
Oh my.
You better not finish that sentence.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves.
And there was a
By
killer.
doing that, they created
Flip.
a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
The guys, aside from Nagito, sort of alibied themselves.
Too easy.
No? I think she
So
is
what if they
disagreeing.
created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that. Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
It's alarm timer.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's
I
no
ran out of
way they
cuts. I
could
did
do
this wrong.
that. Even if they suspended Nekomaru, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru should have still been...
Allow me to cut through those words.
There we go. Should have still been in sleep mode. Yeah, they set an alarm clock.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode.
God, so they don't actually have an alibi. The alarm, because someone set the alarm in Strawberry House to go off at the same time as Nekomaru's alarm went off, having altered all the clocks in everywhere. So Nekomaru went, oh, it's time for, bear yoga, and went merrily off. And Fuyuhiko saw him. So it's possible someone set the alarm so that they could go to the alarm so that when he woke up and fell and the big boom happened, they had an alibi. So it now makes everyone that was in that lounge suspicious, which was Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko. I need my pictures up because I'm terrible with memory. Nagito wasn't there. Oh, and Gundam. Fuyuhiko saw Nekomaru. Would he have said? Does it implicate him? He was in the lounge already. Could he have done it? Why? And there's also the fact that Nagito, maybe the alarm was set so that the others had an alibi, and it was actually Nagito, but he hadn't been in the room yet, so he didn't know about the thing. So someone went over. He went in the tower. Someone went in afterwards and sleep moded him. They then took the elevator round and disabled it in Grape. In Grape, which is on the fourth... No, the Grape is on the bottom. Right, hang on a minute. Okay, so they went into Strawberry Tower, followed him. They sleep moded him and tied him to the door handle. Then they went out because they were living, smashed the button so no one could call it. Then they took the elevator around, sabotaged the elevator and called it. And then they must have been into that other room, so they knew about the trapdoor, and they went through the trapdoor back to Strawberry House. And they'd also altered all the clocks and set the alarm in the Strawberry. So then when the alarm went off, there was an instant alibi because, well, they were there when the crash happened, and the crash was basically him kind of falling, probably catching on to, oh, he probably whopped himself into the top of the column and then knocked the column over. That's why the column had oil on it, and that's why the column fell first and then he fell on top of it, having already bashed his head on there. So it wasn't a suicide, it was just set up to make me think it was. The parallels were there. It could have been that someone actually did it. But it was someone that had been in the death room because the hammer was there and the chains were there. And they knew about the trapdoor. But I don't know who it is. But it's got to be one of the boys.
Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And he's quite hefty, even as a robot. And it would have dislodged the door handle, which was already probably under strain.
And then, in order to make it fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob,
I mean,
right?
In the picture they look in the middle, but yeah.
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that it even happened was because Nekomaru nearly broke down the door trying to get through it at the very beginning of the chapter. Which means it's not me because I was there. 1 million horsepower. Oh. If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. Yeah. And no one else really knew about that. That's really what it was. That's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
So that's
Damn it, it wasn't a serious... I thought it was a noble sacrifice. But it wasn't. It was a bloody murder.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
Yes, you are. Sorry.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Gwidge.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy. He gets off on this.
I mean, someone was desperate from hunger. But this was planned.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
No, he crashed into the pillar. Hey, my health's back though. Collided with the pillar. He ran out of battery, the wire got loose, cola came out of his eyes. I mean, yes, but...
I see!
This is the answer.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
Yes, Akane, finally the pillar.
That's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Fortunately, I don't think it was Nagito.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Yes. Well, there's also two options. There's another option. There is another option. Someone was waiting for someone to come down, and they were basically going to be the first one that was killed. It wasn't necessarily about Nekomaru. And it was someone in Grape House. It was one of the girls. Because then they don't have to have... No, but someone had to know about the trapdoor in the ultimate dead room. Someone had to have done that. Because of the hammer and the chains. So no, it's more likely... Boy, I don't know. It's really hard to tell at this point.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
But you're a little baby gangster. Who's a little baby gangster?
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
So the fact the clocks were changed makes it suspicious now. I was all convinced it was a suicide at the beginning of this, or a self-sacrifice.
Nah, that's impossible. Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed.
Anyone else got any ideas that hasn't already seen it before? Obviously, speculation from someone who's not seen it before is welcomed. Spoilers or not.
How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
A mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. No, someone change the clocks. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. But who did it? Please be Nagito. Except that it's not. Because then we don't find out what he knows. And he's angry. I don't think it was him. The robot's clock couldn't be changed because it was one of those radio clocks. We have a bulletin thing, I think, about that. Oh my god, I went way the wrong way. Here. Here, radio clock. It's an amazing precise clock that can't be tampered with. Which is why he was up at what Fuyuhiko thought was 5 a.m. But it wasn't 5 a.m. It would have been 7 because Nekomaru knew what time it was. All the clocks in the tower are the same aside from his. So someone changed all the clocks. Oh god, right, okay.
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest
They're in a time machine.
was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body
I don't
was
think the radio
discovered.
clock can be
One of those
interfered with. The other
must be
ones
an
can.
illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No,
That
that's
one
wrong.
is... Did they lose 24 hours? I mean, I don't know. They've been starved. They're all
No, the
hallucinating
clock
at this
inside his
point.
chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
No, but there's an easy way they could have just changed the clocks in all the towers.
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
Okay.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
Someone changed the clocks in all the towers. The buildings. Time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. Yes. It's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps you've overlooked something. Perhaps you're misunderstanding something. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. You're going to make me do a hangman gambit. No, a logic dive. Right. Okay. Ah! Didn't press the button soon enough. No, you flipped. Let's go in the middle and do that again. Damn it. My controller is a wee bit temperamental button-wise. Time in the building. That was easy. I was on that route. Damn it. Really hard to navigate. Building clocks. Oh, it's really easy. I'm on that. This is a strange game. Yes! If you hadn't figured that out by now, then yes. This is a strange, just series of games. Oh, flip. Both houses. Flop, 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 flop. Right, let me just get on the right track. It's very nonnery, but weird mini games are weird. Yes. Yeah, well, it's the same people as nonnery. So that's why it's very nonnery. It's like Chunsoft. And the mini games during the trial are weird.
It's all coming together.
But I enjoy the game. The first one bugged me because my theories were much better than the actual solution.
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
Oh no, weird isn't bad. I know, but I tend to assume that people
So
mean
even
it's
if
bad.
you checked all the clocks inside the building,
It's like when people say something's
no way you'd have
distracting.
noticed
Is
it.
that a bad thing? It's like my TikTok.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Yes,
Now's
Nagito,
not
you're
the
very
time to
clever.
be
You figured it
pleased.
all out.
More importantly, how much was the time off?
2 hours? She's right, that's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. It's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. And because Monokuma wasn't doing the announcements anymore, no one knew really what time it was. So it was very much a prisoner's experiment type thing. I need to look
If
at
the
the truth
time in the
bullets
building was all messed up,
to find out which one mentions rumbling noise at 5:30. Nekomaru at 5:30 the alarm went off. Okay, so Akane on Fuyuhiko's account.
then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Yes, Akane's account. Great.
Or his scream.
What?
He's not the type to let out a scream.
Only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough. We would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
Okay.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
I really want her hoodie.
If only
It
I
doesn't
heard
exist,
the sound when
sadly.
he fell.
I agree with that.
There we go.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Neither did Nagito.
Huh?
Who was in the fancy rooms?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
Just an earthquake. I know, right?
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
Rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30. Someone's stomach, I mean, yeah. Everyone heard it, so... Well, not everyone, but some. 2 hours.
See! Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
I definitely wouldn't have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
I should just, you know,
However,
coded this
for
game
what
clearly.
reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
Alibi.
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Yes. They're out only
If you
Nekomaru?
messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. Specific thing is... Monokuma Tai Chi?
I see! That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time. That wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Jeez, how outrageous. I guess I didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right?
We thought we turned up at 7, but actually it was 9.
We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
So the 3 people that found the body... Akane, Chiaki, and me. Was Sonia there? Don't remember. I can't remember whether it includes the killer or not in the thing. If there are precisely 3 people, I think they're probably safe, because everyone there thought it was 7. So, who's left?
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it! It's incorrect!
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
No, it's the opposite. Because it was set up. Everything was set up. They had, you know, half an hour from luring him down on time to when the alarm went off to get in position to be there when the alarm went off. So everyone that was there when the alarm went off is actually a prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Nagito. That's whoever doesn't have an alibi. No, that's not right. Well, I mean, yes, but no.
You're the only one!
I mean, that's the right
one who
answer, but
wasn't there.
that's not the answer.
It's you, right, Nagito?
Because he didn't hear the alarm, because I bet those plush rooms are soundproofed.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there.
That's why Sonia didn't hear either. Because Akane took the crappy room.
Me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
Chiaki was preoccupied, may have been in a plush room, don't know if she heard the noise. One of those 3.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
Unless it really is him, and then I'm very excited, but also sad, because then we won't get the information he has.
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and
Because
answer,
Sonia said she didn't hear the noise. If Sonia didn't hear the noise and Akane did, says something about plushy rooms.
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
You're definitely
He was
fucking
asleep?
lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
I don't know if Chiaki did. Chiaki didn't. Those
To be
2 were in the
honest,
plush rooms.
It's not just them.
Those 3 were all in the
Same goes for
plushy
me,
rooms.
too.
So who was in a plushy room? Was it Nekomaru was the other plushy room? Because I thought it was weird that a robot got a plushy room. Plushy rooms are soundproofed.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but... It wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
couldn't hear it. What does that mean?
Soundproof.
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common.
Yuto, Sonia, and Jackie. Do they have a map handy? No. Punch the killer, maybe? Maybe, possibly. Oh, God, what word do they want, though? Deluxe. Deluxe. Need a U. Deluxe, not sweet? Oh no, deluxe rooms. Damn it. Alright. I'm making a mess out of this because there's too many things on the board at once. There we are, deluxe rooms. Plushy room was not the answer, sadly. It's fine, my health will recover at some point.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki.
So who was in the fourth one?
Deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Quality grade. Soundproof. Kanai and I were in the crummy rooms.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent? Now then, you guys must understand.
Don't remember who else was in the
right?
plushy room.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Because they shouldn't have been able to hear the alarm. Killer Among Us. He murdered Nekomaru. Oh no, but I don't know who else was in that room! Shit! It's Gundam.
You're the only one! Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Kim, and I'm one away from getting his talent!
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that?
I'm fairly certain, well, because Baby Gangster was already in the room, and I'm fairly certain Kazuichi was complaining about being in one of the shittier rooms. Maybe Nekomaru had the medium room, I don't know.
If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Oh, but I don't want you to be the killer! I wanted it to be a sacrifice thing, that was much better.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it.
I told you it was one of those three.
So why were you able to hear that?
Honestly, it was just a choice between him and Kazuichi as to who was the killer there. But I didn't really want it to be either.
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
He's not been particularly suspicious, though.
There's only one possibility.
That's the only suspicious
in your
thing he's
room.
done. Also, I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I can't get to the end because I really need to pee. I'll be right back. Have the cushions out the way so I can sit down. Okay.
That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
I was one interaction away from getting his skill. I am very sad about that. Because I heard he had a good one. And that's why I wanted it. Now I'm not going to be able to get it. Because I didn't talk to him enough in the first chapters until I found out he had a good skill. Can't remember what it is, I just remember he had a good skill. Something that could help with something I was struggling with, possibly. And we haven't been able to talk to Chiaki at all. And I don't know if it's possible to max out anyone then. Possibly, I don't know. It may be. But yeah, it was him or Kazuichi, and I couldn't remember who was in what room. So it was a 50-50 chance. So I figured it was more likely to be the person that I kind of was getting to know than the one that was being a jerk-ass. But it makes me sad.
Gundam, you have
Why?
some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a
Yeah,
while.
because Gundam was
Am I
already
correct?
outside of his room by that point. That might be Kazuichi's picture, I don't know, it's kind of stylized.
Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back,
And it makes sense he'd gone through the death
Fuyuhiko
room.
was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi.
I mean, he could have tried sneaking past, but yeah.
Unfortunately, they failed to secure that.
It just made it
alibi.
more... I hadn't twigged on the deluxe rooms until he started talking about it. Because I couldn't remember... I should have checked then, but I didn't think.
Because I was in the lounge.
Otherwise we wouldn't have been able to figure it out.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room. and ended up here in the lounge.
Yeah,
of the
Kazuichi was
lawn.
one of the ship rooms. Ah, so the picture was actually Fuyuhiko, so that wasn't a clue. You had to really remember. But it was more likely that Gundam had done that. I remembered Nagito was in it, because that's how we got that clue, but yeah. Doing? It's louder than the supreme ruler of the Netherworld.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died, didn't you?
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but... How ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Yeah.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say
More
something?
fun if it had been a noble sacrifice. No, because I was doubting that Sakura's death had been a suicide as well. I remember doubting that.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Huh? 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 Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The
Okay,
soundproof
right. Well,
system
now
here may
you're
as
just
well not exist.
making excuses.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall
You're
now
sweating. Okay, no, it
commence.
definitely was you. 10 ears. Well, 4 hamsters and him has 10 ears.
At the time,
He's
I
some
left my
weird
room to go to the bathroom.
animal breeder
By
person.
coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Well, yeah, but Fuyuhiko didn't see you go to the bathroom.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence?
Oh, no.
Isn't
You're saying
that
it
timing
literally
a
was
little
that
too
coincidental.
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
No one checked you were in your room, though, Nagito.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know?
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Because he's going to do a denouement where he really reveals all his information.
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously, let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it?
Hmm?
At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Yeah, please tell us.
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your
No, it was
pathetic
definitely him.
assumption.
Stop ruining my lovely theories, dear.
In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
No, Nagito knows you're lying anyway, because we saw him appear.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus,
It's not an excuse.
The stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons,
And
it's
if
an
Nagito hadn't gone through the room,
that
we'd
the
have
killer
suspected.
destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
So I'm glad Nagito went through that room then.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
It was either you or him, Kazuichi, so...
Humans, you cannot overcome this contradiction.
Yes, I can. That's wrong. Something's obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Which is the one that is the
That
bullet
elevator
that...
was.
Nagito's sudden appearance.
The only means of travel between
Oh,
the
wait,
two
no.
houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
It's a secret passageway, yes. Is what we want to grab. Because I can't... What's it? Thingy the count is not on there, so I need to grab the secret passageway, which is over here.
The only means of travel between the two houses.
And then
As long
refute
as
only
that
means of
elevator was
travel.
broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
There we go.
How much longer do you plan to lecture? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between the two.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Boom, that was perfect.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito again. He looks
You're
so
the only
bored.
one! Nagito, you should know. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right? There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up.
We are the protagonist.
But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning the third floor floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
And set up the whole train.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Ow.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your
Just starting to like him. We were nearly friends.
There's no way I can stop.
What? Tig? You don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I ran out of cuts.
Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
This is really hard to do.
Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Okay, we advance. Okay,
I already
perfect.
proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! You don't at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Damn it!
Oh, don't go back to the original one. DM.
Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
No, it's really hard because it's all wibbling all over the place and I don't think I can do diagonals.
Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
It's so hard to do this one.
Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Whew,
I already
okay.
proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
That was not.
Crap! Know the
Evidence he
limits
went.
of your own reasoning. You say the
Wyatt.
killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
No, don't retreat again!
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail, I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Okay, cool. Right.
I
It's just
already
if you don't
proved
get the
secret
thingy in the
passage
wrong
exists.
in the right place.
The secret passage was at the octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom...
Allow
we
me
go.
to cut through those words.
It was the wire and the hammer.
The wire
It's really
used
hard to
string
do
up
that. That was
Nekomaru's
tricky.
body. The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what do you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower.
I didn't think you went back and forth several
Surprise!
times, but yeah.
Gundam was waiting for
Of course,
Nekomaru's arrival.
disabling the elevator makes sense.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through
That'd be
this,
rude.
Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without
Could have probably got a
fighting.
hamster to do it as well.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
Are you saying you did fight him?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all!
Are you gonna tell us?
Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
You should see a doctor about that.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
It's not. It's a 5-on-1. We've just established he's got 10 ears.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I will provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Panic talk bullet time, bullet hell. I really hate this.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies!
Forgot the controls. Ah, reload is X. I'm just doing it.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! I won't let you!
How do I do? Oh, fever time.
For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesies! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end!
There we go. We said him to do that again. Look at my health! Very bad at that. It requires rhythm and it's not obvious when you
You
press.
should have been able to press the button on the back.
And my
of his
A
neck.
key is dodgy on this. I do need to get a new one. The Xbox Design Labs open up again, so I can.
As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Well, why not?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes.
Yes, it pressed the strawberry room button. Super Silver Fox Sandy. Press the button. Skyline Lamentation Art of the Demon Mouse.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
I mean, that is a very good imitation of what those words
Not
say.
just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance.
It would have been a really cool self-sacrifice.
Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses.
Which is
you cannot find
something
peace
to wish for
without
when it's a
sacrifice
robot person.
anywhere. Now,
Not when it's a human.
trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
Closing argument starts. I know we do the comic. Okay, so we need... Who set the alarm clock? Who was in the lounge early morning? Time did Fuyuhiko see Nekomaro? They fought. Nekomaro's weakness is the good time button. Nighttime button. The wire. It's a huge hammer. They destroyed what? What was the fake? Hey, we finally get one we can fill in. Who gathered at the lounge? Why did he fall? Because the door handle went kaplooey. You heard the rumbling noise. Oh. Ah, that's the alarm clock. That one. No, it didn't. At least I won't have to... No? Won't dance me. No! Oh, God. I did it wrong, and I ran out of energy, and shit. Blackened is Hajime. Hajime's not blackened too bad. The true blackened has graduated spectacularly. Congratulations. And now the others will punished. Oh well, we get to see a bad ending. That means you too, Hajime.
This is our end?
Oops. Would I like to retry? Yes, please.
We'll never give up.
Because can I just do the last bit again? Because it was just that comic. Oh, good. Okay, I thought I'd have to go through the whole bloody trial again. I just, you know. Okay. That's the one that goes there. That's what I was missing. Hamster and murder. Door strawberry. We gathered at the lounge. Now we get a new one. There we go. Stock 2. Okay. Open the doorknob. Nice weakness space. Hamster pressed it. Ah, there we go. That's what goes in that one. Why did he cut? The doorknob came off. You heard the rumbling noise. Me? Yeah. Last stock. fills in what was the fake weapon. You know that one. And who was in the tower, and that would be Hiko. Because he can't sleep.
Here's everything
Right.
that happened in this case.
I thought I'd have to redo the whole half the trial since my last save.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m.
If he'd have only followed him...
That's also the same time Monokuma Tai Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that.
If he'd only followed him... he may have ended up dead as well, but...
However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower.
I'm sure he doesn't walk like that.
So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
The power of hamsters!
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire.
And then they chained up the door.
The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking.
Because it had already been, you know, assaulted earlier.
Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
One free time period away from getting his skill. God damn it.
That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
I mean, yes. It would have been such a perfect sacrifice. Woohoo! Yay! I did it without using the slowdown. I think I did one without any damage. Possibly, I don't know, this is the thing. I may have to redo. But I may have got that one already. No, I haven't got the one without taking any damage. I'll redo the first trial because I'll need to grind some coins at some point. I got a B. That's not too bad considering. That's not too bad considering the difficulty bonus. I am playing it on like a higher difficulty, so.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote.
Lever.
Who will be chosen as the black
lever?
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
Oh, it's horrible when you bite your tongue. I shouldn't laugh. Monokuma votes. And as always, we'll mute the actual killing sound just in case, because in the first game that one kept on twigging the copyright stuff. I don't know whether it would, but I'm not really going to go through having to mute stuff, so I will mute it myself. Too bad if I bit my tongue again. Speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is an achievement. That's right. The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yeah, I said all that without biting my tongue. Ow.
Now then.
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and let's get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial's finished, but that doesn't mean the incident's over. Can't finish yet until we hear from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. And I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like. Why do you want to talk to me, one who has lost? Though Lucy merely leaves, it would just be unnecessary for me to say something, because we want to know why you killed our friend.
Well.
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct? You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh? 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 Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. Because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be
If
the
he was
will
just
of
trying to cling to
causality.
life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
Oh. He gave up. Because he knew what Gundam was doing and he knew it would mean that everyone else could eat. What do you mean? Explain. Fine, then I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Why is everyone always on fire when they do this? Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you
He was
this.
serious, too. He gave it his all to try to kill me.
Huh?
So it was basically, I'm gonna die anyway. And he probably would have admitted it had he managed to kill him. If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
No one would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru Nidai, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Why did you fight? We are all friends. Couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you.
However, I must say this. What is the point in living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation. Telling us to just wait until we starve to death. I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Does that mean you'd rather die?
Fall.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone has been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation, that is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch,
Giving up
you
on
will
life,
die.
that's just an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog? Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well.
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy towards life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying that just to try and justify what you did?
But
But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. It's why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all, that is the absolute truth.
Fall,
But
my
even so,
tears.
don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh,
That belief is why you committed your crime.
you...
What about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, I was mere child's play.
Well,
After listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that... Well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me. You didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka.
Who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way. I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like
Not in a
dust
million,
in the
not in
wind.
a billion, not even 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let's be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
I prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka. Hi, Celeste. Celestia.
Please wait!
This is just too much.
I beg of you!
Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Huh?
Sonia.
I beg of you!
How pitiful.
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not benefit a noble such as yourself. I know, I was really sad. I thought it was, Nekomaru's sacrifice. It's fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind, however.
What is it, my
What
four
is it,
dark
my four dark
davers
davers of destruction?
Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark davas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end!
Yes, you're very evil. Go you.
Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Okay. And we're gonna mute. Didn't mean to mute that. I'll be right back. Game over. Gundam has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Did he just get attacked by a bunch of bison wearing fruit? Is he protecting... Oh, no. Yep, he is being attacked by bison wearing fruit. the little hamsters. There's a lot of pets with wings who are then taking him away. Okay, this is surprisingly mellow considering he killed Nekomaru. Okay, that is surprisingly... Yeah. Okay, sound back. Okay, that was weird. Surprisingly less violent than I expected. Gundam. Even after Gundam's gone, the spirit of his parting words still lingered deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? What's the right thing to do? Don't know. There was still some good in him. He saved his hamsters. I mean, yes, they didn't commit... Well, technically they didn't commit the murder, so if they'd have died, it would have broken the rules. I wonder where they're going now. Are they going to stay with Sonia? Or just on the island? The giant icon on the wall amuses me. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that. Damn it. I'm so pissed off I need to throw something.
Damn it!
You all spent so much time worrying about each other, and thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of shit, every last one of you. The biggest piece of shit is me. Damn it, why am I so weak? To be fair, I don't know.
Oh.
It's such a downer, clearly. Still, even though we feel this way, we're still going to do our very best.
You are right.
You are right, yes. Well, there's a lot of girls been killed proportionately to the guys, so, you know, makes more sense, because the last one, 3 girls died in the last chapter. But it's just there's so few people left. And Nagito's still left. So it's Nagito and Kazuichi from there, plus us. And then Fuyuhiko, Akane, Chiaki, and Sonia. So most of this row. And then no one from this row is alive anymore. So very few people left. So 4, 6, 7 people. You're alright. This time, Milan, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe our friends. If not...
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell. I presume he will be very cross with us. You're right. You're right. I shouldn't just stand here. I mean, it's not like this is over. No, there's still 2 more chapters? Though I don't know... 7 people... You know, someone dies in the next chapter. It's down to 5 people. Depending on who's left, it could be 3 people at the very end. But at some point, we've got the mystery surrounding the door to solve. And there is only one more island to reveal. So, how chapter 6 will work, I don't know. So I'll need to make sure that I plan accordingly. It may be an extra long one. It may be a shorter one. I don't know. Still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. So, don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. Can't allow that.
Hey!
So, how long are you guys going to stand around chatting? Class trial's over, so it's okay for you to hurry it back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait!
Hold on. How much longer are you going to keep doing this? Seriously, how long is he going to keep doing this? And also, Nagito has stuff for us to say. Stuff to say to us. How long is this thing going to continue?
Now then.
Alright, after feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey!
Hold on a sec. That mood shifts too damn fast.
Not like that.
You know, it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. It's what it means to live, right? She's certainly something else. Seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
And let's go back for now and eat. And then after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then let's do our best again. Yeah, you're right. What's she been thinking of? Is she just thinking about the tower? Because we didn't talk to her until the whole last chapter. With this, the class trials come to an end, and once again we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group was definitely diminished, but despite that, even though it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Yeah, but we're left with, you know, one psychopath, one guy that thinks we're the traitor, one guy who, misunderstanding, got her killed, and 3 girls who, well, she's a genius, she's just a cinnamon roll, and that's a princess. I don't really know how the next chapter's going to turn out, unless Nagito kills someone. Of course, our optimism was only superficial, but at that moment we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Nagito... Why is he in our room? Yes, I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Yeah, he got... Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's too funny. Just too funny. I mean, no one could tell it was lying. There was no way the file had just Hajime's information. Well, yes, obviously. Obviously, it didn't just have Hajime's. I guess they were too busy with other matters, or perhaps they've reached their limit. Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Or maybe he is the traitor and he didn't know until now. I don't know. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
Damn it.
This should never be forgiven. Or maybe he is going to kill the traitor and then we'll finally be rid of him. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all. Even if it costs me my life.
It's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appears!
Who summoned me?
Now then.
Thanks for coming.
What's this?
Hey, it's the lonely man. So, are you all alone tonight, too?
What's the matter?
Your face looks scary. I see, so you can tell. So you found out who the traitor is? You know me well.
Wow.
Here's what I'd like to say, but unfortunately I haven't learned that yet. You lie. I see, so even you don't know. Looks like the final showdown is going to take a little time.
Hello.
So why'd you summon me anyway? Were you finally going to confess your love?
Hey.
I summon you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room. Oh yeah? What about it? There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
You don't even
There's
know?
a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
But this file contains documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy, right? Well, that just means the traitor was a student, obviously.
Of course.
Yes, right. I just reused the stuff that the former headmaster spent a long time making.
But...
if this file even contains information about the traitor, was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
I wonder.
Hey.
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Are you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? What's wrong with it? For my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
Well...
that's not my point.
right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is. What's wrong with that?
You're getting all riled up.
Well, you're splendidly correct. You say I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like Monami after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me. Their existence means nothing, huh?
No.
That's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different. Is it one of the 7 who's left, though? After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful thing. That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know.
Huh?
Cooperation?
Hey.
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
If that's the case, I may be able to cooperate somewhat too.
Right?
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is. Interesting, very interesting.
No.
Obviously, that's a big no.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you two.
Well,
I knew you would say that. Just won't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on. Just as I thought, you saw right through me.
you're right.
No matter what the situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepladders such as myself and despair exist. Right. I'm a true believer of hope, after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of a person for some reason. Guy from the first game whose name I've forgotten. Some terrible with names. Reminds you? I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky. No, they were also a lucky student.
Like...
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this.
Wow.
Am I? Actually, I think I'm very lucky.
Say what?
I really wish we'd stop playing as Nagito, but it is nice to have this extra information.
You don't
Wouldn't
know?
you say that coming across this much despair is rather a rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on the island, that's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called ultimate hope. Two of you are alike, you definitely remind me of him.
Hey.
Hey, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
See?
Who are you waiting for on this island? Huh? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is the person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey.
Well, answer my question. If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting? I hope it's not the despair girl from the first game. Okay, and then we're gonna get a countdown timer. And then Monomi's gonna destroy another animal mechanism thing. 5 days, 11 hours, 13 minutes, and some seconds left. Oh, that sucks. Well, I'm glad you got it sorted. Do Ultimate Robots Dream of Clockwork. End. Chapter 4 ends. Surviving Student 7. Look at that. God damn it. To be continued. Third time. I obtained a ring and an achievement. Bread for Destruction. Why is that a rare? People just don't get this far? Interesting. After being released from the funhouse, we went back to living our less than ordinary lives. Nah, so annoyingly, I won't be able to get that last thing. I was not expecting it to be Gundam. So we can talk to Chiaki, because I would like to build up my friendship with her. Sonia, Kazuichi, Fihiko. I mean, I could talk to Nagito again. We'll just have to see who we get to be able to talk to. And then we've still got 717 steps before our poop pet evolves and we get a different one. For which we'll try and build up, I guess, both despair and hope to halfway, maybe? See if that does one. We have 673 coins. Oh yeah, we're going to check achievement progress. So, we're not going to get that. That one's in progress. Yeah. Yeah, the finish rate of a lot of games is fairly low. Like, all of these are expected to be rare because you don't get these until you finish the game. Hidden Monokumas, I will have to do that again. With, you know, like, pretty much everything left is a rare. I think everything left is a rare now, actually. Everything left is a rare. There isn't one for getting all the achievements. In which case, all island mode endings is probably fairly indicative. Only like 0.5% of people have completed this game by the looks of it. It's like 1 in 200.
Danganronpa.
But, you know, I'm going to complete it. I completed the first one. I mean, I'm going to complete the story. The cleanup is going to be annoying. And I may do some Monami battles. Well, no, I will do Monami battles and island mode and stuff off stream. We will have a look at island mode after we finish chapter 6. But we'll do cleanup, same as we did last time off stream. I own all the games, so it's not like Game Pass is an interfering thing. I wanted to own all the Chunsoft ones. Spike Chunsoft, I like Spike Chunsoft ones. Right. Oh, Jesse is doing a race, so I think it's a race in like 10 minutes. I think there's no announcement. Where's the event? Starting in 10 minutes. ALTTPR Cross Keys Tourney Week 7. Ooh, it looks like it's Decider maybe. Versus Vortex of Doom. So we shall go and raid Le Jessie. But yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Reminder, I am running a giveaway for a copy of Strange Horticulture on Xbox, which I announced yesterday. There's a link in my Discord, there's a link on all my socials. There'll be a link on the VOD that gets posted on YouTube. So you should be able to find it. All my socials are on my Twitch bio. If you want to enter to win a copy of the game. Free game. So yeah, let's go raid. Oh, oops. Can't put the ad there. There we go. Raid. Okay, so yeah. I'll be back on Tuesday. I think I'm going to play Stray. I will get my schedule sorted out. I believe this week's a Wednesday co-stream. I will leave it to Jesse to let me know what game we're playing, because it is a Wednesday one. And I'm going to go get some food. A very clear idea of what I want to eat today. It involves lots of random different things put together into what I'm going to call a meal. But yeah, for now, I've been Joe, otherwise known as Angel SK. Have a great rest of your weekend, however much is left. A great next week, and I'll catch you later. Bye.